in the positions, Your Honor, is really continuous. Because from the court administrator, we keep requesting the JBC to fill the positions, but there is a certain process, if I may reveal it, Your Honor. Sometimes positions are created, but we still need, it undergoes a process because we need to get DBM's NOSCA. But hopefully, moving forward with the Republic Act 12233, if DBM does not give the NOSCA within 120 days, then the Supreme Court, through the NBank, through the Chief Justice, may be able to undergo appropriate remedies with which to cure it. So the waiting process is no longer, it's a little bit mitigated. But filling in positions, Your Honor, other than the NOSCA, we need to find a physical office for the judge and the complement staff, which is why, Your Honor, if I make an appeal likewise, thank you very much for creating or enacting laws to create positions. But we do hope and pray that with this creation of additional positions, the office will likewise be considered, the physical office. Because sometimes we need to, there's a staff involved, but there is no office to accompany the personnel and the judge himself or herself.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On to the technological advancement and digitalization, I just wanted to commend the judiciary for its efforts po on transitioning into the digital era, particularly with the implementation of electronic filing. So this innovation has not only improved the speed and efficiency of filing processes, but also reduced the reliance on paper-based pleadings. Alam niyo po, I used to practice law. I did litigation for a while, and ngayon with all these developments, parang nakakamiss. But definitely, I'd like to commend, of course, yung minention din po ni Kong Roman, yung ating e-notary. That's a good development also for the judiciary. On to my last topic po on judiciary marshal. So, Mr. Chair, the creation of the judiciary marshals under RA 11691 was meant to respond to threats and attacks against judges and court personnel. As we discuss the budget, it is important to look at how far implementation has gone and what resources are needed to make this office truly effective. My first question po, as on staffing and deployment, what is the current staffing complement of the Office of the Judiciary Marshals, and how does this compare with the proposed staffing pattern?
As of now, Your Honor, they're only the heads of the offices through retired Police General Manuel R. Garland and his 3 deputy marshals are appointed. The complement staff are yet to be appointed. If I'm not mistaken, that should amount to 1,043 positions, Your Honor. And it is actually included in our MR, requests for reconsideration. So in the amount of 710,904,464. So 1,043 positions.
Is this, Mr. Chair, the targeted number of marshals in 2026, or?
Yes, Your Honor, 2026. So in the meantime, we have to the Office of the Judiciary Marshals have to simply deliver their best with what they have as of now.
Mr. Chair, pwede po ba natin malaman how much funding po ang na-allocate sa OJM in the 2026 NEP? And is this sufficient to cover its immediate operational requirements?
It is not sufficient, Your Honor, which is why we are asking that it be included in the budget, Your Honor.
With the indulgence of Congressman Padiernos, the 1,043, where are they supposed to be assigned to? So that, yeah, which judges? It's nationwide, correct, but RTC, CA, and so can you tell us the plan for the 1,043? So that we'll exactly know, if we fund this amount that you requested, then who will be protected by these 1,043 marshals?
The deputy marshal should represent Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, Your Honor. The complement staff?
The 143.
Yes, Your Honor.
1,043. Sino yung ikuan nila? Safeguard.
supposedly, Your Honor, where the office of, because we've decentralized some of the functions of the court administrator through the creation of the office of the regional court managers. So where a regional court manager is, there is likewise, ideally, Your Honor, with the 1,403 staffs of the Judiciary Marshal's office, there should likewise be a member of the Office of the Judiciary Marshal so that they can have a better coordination with the judges and with the Judiciary Marshals alike and the staff.
Still unclear to me because we're talking here of 1,043 granting that we will work on that. There will be regional judiciary, okay, offices. But who exactly, how can they protect? Because we want protection of our judges and justices. How can that be? Like, how many will be assigned to the Court of Appeals? How many will be assigned to the Sandigan Bayan? How many will be assigned to the Court of Tax Appeals? How many to the RTCs? Are the MTCs, MPCCs also covered by the marshals? Where will they be based?
Your Honor, as of now, because of the number of judges that we have, 3,063 only for lower courts, other than the appellate level courts, it is not expected that in each court there is a judiciary marshal. We still need to station them, Your Honor, as a process of deployment. And the best way to station them, as how we foresee it now, Your Honor, is where the station of the Office of the Regional Court Manager is.
Can you submit to this committee?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes,
before the plenary,
deployment.
the assignment, the proposed assignments
Yes, po.
of this 1,043,
Yes,
so that it can help us in the plenary be able to explain, because there may be questions on how
Yes,
they will be
Your Honor.
deployed. Thank you. Can you
Yes,
proceed?
Your Honor. Thank you,
Congressman
Your Honor.
Padierno.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Going along, Mr. Chair, just wanted to know are there identified funding gaps, particularly for recruitment, training, and equipment that we should here in Congress consider addressing?
If there are gaps, Your Honor, what we can foresee for the Judiciary Marshal, because a Judiciary Marshal has to undergo training. We are supposed to create a Judiciary Marshal Academy, but it's still not in the works because it's still being rolled out, Your Honor, which is why, thank you, Mr. Chair, that we should really look into the particulars of how to really deploy it, Your Honor. If there are gaps, in anything other not related to judiciary marshals, I can pinpoint to probably the infrastructure on the modernization of the courts, Your Honor, because this is really a lot to cascade to. Courts, if we ever travel, are really used to paper-based documents and paper-based records. Actually, even the rules of court will still maintain the provision that our court proceedings should maintain a record. So the deployment it should be gradually, which is why we are likewise strategizing how to ask for our budget. But that is eventually the plan, the strategic plan, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So on my last point for the Judiciary Marshal, can the Judiciary commit to submitting a clear roadmap with milestones and budget requirements for the full operationalization of the OGM in the next 3 to 5 years?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay,
Yes, Your
thank
Honor.
you.
Thank you.
So finally, this representation fully supports the funding for the Judiciary Marshals as kailangan po talaga natin to. And as from my knowledge, iba pong bansa meron din ganito.
Yes po.
So we can protect the integrity and independence of the judiciary. So especially their safety also. So, Mr. Chair, I'd just like to make my last manifestation. This representation fully supports, not only fully supports the proposed budget of the judiciary, but also proposes for the increase or to augment the budget of the judiciary para po sa ating mga kababayan, lalo na po ma-improve ang ating justice system. And yun lang po, maraming salamat po. At last point lang po, it's isa pong malaking karangalan makaharap po ang ating mga justices. As a former practitioner, it's a really great honor. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Maraming salamat po, Your Honor.
Thank you, Minority Leader JB Padiernos, for your statement of support not only to approve the NEP proposed budget, but to increase it.
Yes, Your Honor.
That is music to our ears. Thank you.
Thank you,
So
Your
we
Honor.
proceed now to the next interpellator, who will be the Honorable Vice Chair Brian Poe. The floor is yours.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair. And of course, to our justices, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras. Tulad ng sinabi ni Congressman Padiernos, isang malaking karangalan po ito para sa akin na naging Vice Chair po ako sa inyong pandinig para sa budget niyo po. So to begin, when it comes to the needs of our constituents, malapit talaga sa puso ng mga kababayan natin ang hustisya. So with that being said, I actually want to highlight some of the efforts of the judiciary, specifically yung e-courts and our video conferencing. I believe when we started these programs way back, we saw an initial uptick in the number of cases that we were able to hear. Do you have any of the current statistics on e-courts and video conferencing? How many cases have been processed through e-courts?
As of now, Your Honor, we do not have we are not in possession of the exact statistics, but we can provide it, Your Honor. Thank you.
Maraming salamat po. It's something that I want to showcase to our kababayans to show that justice is accessible. No?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
On that note, may I ask what is being done to improve our e-court system, our video conferencing, para maging mas accessible para sa mga kababayan natin?
Your Honor, the video conferencing is very much dependent on the ICT equipment, which is why part of the modernization package that we were asking to be included in our budget is the procurement of this ICT equipment. And that is really the plan, Your Honor. If it really goes on full throttle, this e-court version 2.0, if all courts will be able to have the resources available on ICTs, then there will be no problem even to resorting to video conferencing and monitoring it, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, may I ask, how much are we looking at if we want to include this ICT?
Around 4 billion, Your Honor.
4 billion. But that's nationwide, lahat magkakaroon ng access na.
Yes, Your Honor, nationwide.
Mr. Chair, 4 billion pesos. I believe the President has been trying to divert or convince Congress to divert some infrastructure spending to soft spending that people will really feel. Kumbaga, 4 billion pesos compared to some of the infrastructure projects and magiging nationwide ito,
Yes.
lahat magkakaroon ng access. I believe this is a worthwhile expense, worth discussing with leadership here in the House. So if we can have exact figures on that.
Yes.
And if ever you are able to acquire the 4 billion for next year, what are the chances that this can really be adopted within the year?
This is actually a project undertaken by none other than our Senior Associate Justice Marvic Leonen, and he's really into it, Your Honor. If I can listen to his plans for, it would appear that just the end of this year, there's actually pilot courts already who have already witnessed the dashboard of the e-court version 2.0. That's in Davao. Other than Davao, we have Bacolod, Tagum, Baguio, Makati City, Your Honor. So with all those, the success in the pilot projects, Your Honor, we're really ready to roll out by next year, hopefully by January 2026.
That's fantastic. If we can partner your pilot data with the data we currently have on e-courts and the number of cases that are heard, we can make a strong case for increasing the budget of the judiciary para mas accessible po ang hustisya para sa mga kababayan natin. Is there more data that you would like to share?
Yes,
Or
Your Honor, because you were asking a preliminary data on the number, let's see how the use or resort to video conferencing can be a better access to serve justice. As of from January to August 2025, Your Honor, the number of PDLs released via video conferencing hearing is 6,232. Thank you, Your Honor. And
Mr. Chair, for the record, that's 6,232
232
individuals that benefited and were given their liberty because of video conferencing, not at its full potential.
Yes,
So
Your
if we
Honor.
can increase accessibility, hopefully we can increase the number of PDLs. And I believe the President himself set a goal of trying to release as many PDLs as possible through proper court proceedings. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor. As a matter of fact, Your Honor, any accused who is a person deprived of liberty, courts usually resort to video conference hearings. And I have the statistics for it, Your Honor. From the BJMP alone, we have a total of 220,975 video conference hearings conducted. From Bucor, the Bureau of Corrections, we have a total of 6,946 hearings conducted. And from the courts, we have a 120,860 video conference hearings conducted.
And I assume this is with minimal ICT equipment, no?
Yes, Your Honor. Sometimes the judge would provide for himself or herself personally.
Sana
Yes, Your
Congress can provide that for our judges,
Your
no?
Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
So I'll ask if you could submit to this representation the necessary data so that
Yes,
we
Your
can
Honor.
discuss amongst the Appropriations Committee how we can help. Next is I would also like to highlight the efforts of the Judiciary to look into AI. I believe that the Judiciary, one of the first in Southeast Asia already to look at an AI framework for the Judiciary. Can you tell us a bit more about how you're preparing for the advent of AI?
The Chief Justice is very vocal on artificial intelligence, Your Honor, especially on research. But we have likewise been or actively training our judges that it should just be a tool, which is reflected in the provisions of our new Code of Judicial Conduct, because sometimes there are more often than not lawyers who simply resort to artificial intelligence without necessarily verifying the data. That's why we are actively telling our judges not to be more conscious of resort to AI technology, that it should not there should be human intervention all the time, because it should simply be used as a tool but not as it is to prepare our decisions and orders.
Opo, I believe you're currently working on a framework internally on how to deal with AI, no?
Yes. Yes, thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you. So moving from there, I want to discuss quickly yung legal aid natin. So can you give me a bit of an overview on the free courts that you provide for indigents and easier access for PDLs aside from yung video conferencing natin?
Your Honor, I was just handed statistics since on statistics on video conference hearings conducted, and this is from our MIS, or from our Management Information System. Since this is 2020, Your Honor, since 2020 when pandemic struck. So as of December 15, 2024, it has become really effective because the video conference hearings conducted numbered 1,582,143 criminal cases, of which is 1,475,702. And then if we look at the July 15, 2025 figures, the VCH hearings conducted number 1,632,163 criminal cases, of which are 1,524,761. So it has really been very effective, Your Honor. Instead of canceling the hearing, we really proceed with it from remote locations.
So you would say, in your opinion, but this is badly needed to advance our legal systems.
Yes, Your Honor.
I have a question, the indulgence of Congressman Poe. How much is the percentage of these millions of conferences in the totality of our trial court system?
Percentage of video conference.
Yeah, percentage. Which, if you take the totality, everything will now be video conference hearings. Then how much is that? Because our intention, as proposed by our good Vice Chairman, is to really, give you the budget so that everything will now be video conferencing, if possible, because it saves time. I have been practicing for 35 years before I became commissioner and then congressman. So, yeah, I mean, it will be easier for everybody. Judges, lawyers, clients, to be able to have that. So what is that percentage now, and what do you propose for 2026 so that we will really have video conference hearings all over the country in all courts?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. If so far, Your Honor, when a hearing involves a person deprived of liberty, parang default na po yan video conference hearing. So they don't have to come to court. So if for those criminal cases, video conference hearing po, and then compare it with the civil cases and other criminal cases that would require our default system on face-to-face hearing, video conference hearings would roughly be estimated to constitute at least mga 25 to 30% of our trial system, of our proceedings.
You're now doing 25% already?
Yes, Your Honor.
But,
Yes, Your Honor.
But my experience in Cagayan de Oro, there's still persons deprived of liberty. They're brought by the prisoners' vans and buses that I have requested every year from the BJMP. So not all are into video conferencing on PDLs, because I can see them. I go to the jail and they are transported and they are personally appearing. So
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm sure it's not yet 100% for PDLs,
Yes.
which you have stated.
yeah.
Can you clarify that?
Yes.
Because in many jails, they're still bringing prisoners
Yes.
for hearing in the courts themselves.
Yes,
Yes, can we have the explanation?
Let me correct it po, Your Honor. I'm sorry for that. While the courts are ready to conduct video conference hearings, sometimes there are variables that we need to factor in, such as the lack of equipment from the jail facility itself or lack of Wi-Fi access. So that can happen, Your Honor. So if
Intend to also install. It will not be the BJMP that will be purchasing
Yes.
this online connection, but will it be the courts or we give it to the BJMP so that they'll be connected to the courts?
Yes, Your Honor, because of Araulio versus Aquinon, I think the BJMP has to purchase or procure its own equipment because for their own funds and connectivity. That will be from DOJ funding, Your Honor. Perhaps
Let's just focus
Yes.
on the judiciary. So next year, if we give you 4 billion, how much percentage of all possible hearings of all the courts, the Supreme Court to the our special courts and then our lower courts, how many would be given that particular equipment and to be able to conduct hearings? If we give the 4 billion that you are saying.
Yes, if all courts are now all equipped with the digital infrastructure that we need, including the ICT equipment, then depending, as guided by our rules on video conferencing hearings, Your Honors, it should run 100%. It should, Your Honor, next year. Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, I've looked at your proposal for 21.7 billion, correct? That's what you're asking. That's the total amounts being requested for
Yes, for the
reconsideration.
MR. Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, I have
Yes,
it
Your
here.
Honor.
I don't see the 4 billion here for ICT equipment.
That's why they need us, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, but it's not requested. It's not part of the request. How is that?
Because it is under our SPJI program, Your Honor.
Where is that here? Pages, we refer to pages 16, 17, and 18. That is the total 21.76 billion. So, saan dito yung yung ICT that Congressman Poe is trying to help you?
Pwede natin kunin ito.
Hindi yan. They
Wala.
already gave us that. Ito naman, we're requesting.
Mr. Chair, baka it was suggested to the DBM but it wasn't included in the NEP. Is that what happened?
Yes, Your
Yes,
Honor.
but they have to be part of the 27.721 billion that you're requesting, because we are going to meet with our chair and the vice chair precisely based on your request 21.76 billion. wala dito yung capital outlay nyo is only, your capital outlay is only 3.5 million for transportation and intangible assets of 1 million.
Yes.
So saan dito yon?
You really have an eagle eye, Your Honor. Thank you for
No,
that.
we really-
Your
I
Honor.
cannot defend you in
Yes
our
po.
committee hearing with the chair if it's not in the request.
Yes. We will add it, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you
Please
very
add
much, Your
them
Honor.
as soon as
Yes po.
possible. Please proceed, Congressman Po.
That's
Thank
2
you,
billion,
Mr.
Your
Chair.
Honor. No? 2 billion po. 2 billion. Yes po. Yes po, 2 billion. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
The judiciary is too humble. Kaya we'll help them.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
With that being said, I also want to move on to continuing that line of thought on free legal aid. No, marami po akong kaibigan sa IBP, marami po akong kaibigan na nagbibigay ng libreng legal services, no, pro bono work. Is there any chance that the judiciary or the Supreme Court would be open to MCLE credits for pro bono work?
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, there's a Republic Act that credits free legal service on the part of lawyers even before the rules on unified legal services came about. Pero sa ulas po, mas particular na yung number of hours rendered by a member of the bar who's qualified to render free legal aid service. Yes,
So
Your Honor.
just to continue, what is exactly the correspondent units for the number of hours served? Can we know?
Yes, Your
From the
Honor. It's
ulas.
12 hours, Your Honor.
If there is 12 hours units,
Yes, Your Honor.
credits, okay?
Accredited
For how
for
many
MCLE.
hours of pro bono work?
36 hours, Your Honor.
So the
But-
lawyer should be able to time it.
Yes, Your
Is there
Honor.
a certification from the regional executive judge?
Yes, Your Honor. We have our ULAS rules, Your Honor.
Okay, so they will get the entirely 12 units
Yes.
for 36 hours of.
MCL.
That's clear. Many are watching us lawyers. So lawyers should just, those watching us, continue to give pro bono.
Yes, Your Honor.
You will be exempted with 12 units
Yes, Your Honor.
if you have 36 hours in court pro bono. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, I just had to ask that para, yes, we can remind our legal friends that there are credits that can be availed of for good service to our fellow kababayans. Actually, that ends my line of questioning because I'm really here to support the judiciary in their modernization, in their accessibility, and their provision of legal services to those in need. No, so I would like to manifest my support for the judiciary. And again, it has been an honor to preside over your budget with our chairman here. Maraming salamat po. And we will make a case for the increase in budget for our kababayans and for our justice system. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat po, Your Honor.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Brian Poe, for your support for the budget of the judiciary, especially the specific fields that you want to be augmented. Our next interpellator is also from the Deputy Minority Leader, Tonji Tinio. Wala na? Basta pala. So then we go to Representative Rene Co. Wala na, so majority lang naiwan. Ako, we can decide immediately to increase all of this.
Mr. Chair,
Oh, wala. Hindi ka nalista dito, but we'll call you because this is the slot of the minority. We call on, you want to have a time, di ba? Yes?
yes, Mr. Chair, please.
Congressman Sergio Dagook is now recognized for the minority.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat, no? Especially to our justices, both from the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeals.
Magandang umaga po.
Justice Raul is aware of my issue year in, year out. The former court administrator also, who is now Justice Marquez, no? Nagkakilala kami dahil sa issue na to. I hope, no, this will be the last budget hearing on my 7th year in Congress because we're delivering justice and not paying, no, the power bills of the different courts of the country is also an injustice. Para may paliwanag ko lang, mostly these courts are found in the different provinces or in some cities under the area coverage of the electric operatives where I represent. So, para lang malinaw sa ating mga justices, distribution utilities lang po ang electric cooperatives. They are non-stock, non-profit, under PD 269. Yung pong binabayaran natin na 1 peso sa kanila, 17 centavos lang po yung natitira sa kanila, yung distribution charge. Kasi yung generation charge po, which constitute 60 to 65% o 65 centavos per piso, sa planta po yon, because we are not generating, we are only distributing. Yung 12 centavos po doon sa BIR po yon, taga-kolekta lang kami. Yung 10 centavos sa national grid, yung transmission line po natin. So, in every piso na hindi nababayaran, yung 17 centavos natin na matitira, supposed to be for the operation, naghahanap pa po tayo ng pangdagdag na another 17 centavos para mapunan yung 65 centavos. Puputulan po kasi tayo ng planta pag hindi tayo So,